So today, this is pretty exciting for us at OK Movie Stream because this is probably the most famous person we've had in the room.
Wow, things are that slow. Okay.
This is Brian Shoop. If you guys don't know him or haven't seen him before, but he's all over the place. I was looking on your IMDb and you had like 43 credits. That was crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's acting career is something you enjoy looking back at it. You can say, well, I have done a few things, haven't I? But looking forward, you're going, I'll never work again.
Where were you born? Where'd you grow up?
I was born in Toledo, Ohio.
Okay.
St. Charles Hospital. Lived on the banks, not quite, but not far from the banks of Lake Erie.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I remember going down to the lake and seeing signs posted that said, "Do not swim. It's hazardous to your health because of pollution." And that has changed over the years. That's now a beautiful resort, actually, area. Fishing has returned. It's really great. But that's where I grew up.
Well, George Carlin kind of did a bit about that, though.
Did he?
Where he grew up, I think, like in Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
And he said that's what swimming in those waters built up his immunity.
That's right.
And made him live longer.
The Cleveland River actually caught on fire at one point when I was a kid. Yeah.
So was acting part of your life then?
No, not at all. I was I was pursuing to football and anything my brother did.
Uh-huh.
I have two brothers and one younger sister, two older brothers, and the middle brother he and I were pretty close, are to this day. And so I did everything he did. In fact, I married his wife's sister.
That's funny.
Which is illegal.
It's legal.
Yeah.
What position did you play when you were playing football?
I was a running back.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was your biggest game? You remember that moment? Tell it to us like it's the movie.
No, I don't remember. I remember, though, having great games, having fun games. Those are the ones where you just run over the other team, and anytime you run the ball, you get a touchdown virtually.
Or how you tell it now, right?
That's the way I tell my kids. But I suppose the biggest one was the first game of my senior year. Coach was, very fundamental, and we started running this sweep around the end where the quarterback pitches me the ball, whether we go right or left, and we were doing that all night. Of course, after about 3 or 4 of those, I was ready for a break, but this particular team we were playing never adjusted, and so it was good every time. We made big yards every time. That's just really fun when you feel like you can accomplish whatever you want to.
Right.
The very next game, however, they were not that inept on defense, and they quickly adapted to that, shut that play down. So we had to do something else. But those were fun years. They're really fun.
Yeah, they're fun to kind of look back on. Did you guys have a thought? Or you're talking about the crew over here.
Yeah, they're not paying attention.
Yeah, sometimes they interject,
I'm used to that.
But then I hear them talking about something else maybe they're working on, and
groceries. Yeah, I understand.
So, did you go to college? Did you play college ball or?
I was looked at by Columbia, and actually they flew me and a couple other guys out to New York. We had a really fun weekend, but that never developed. And then I had a opportunity at the University of Toledo. That's I decided I'm done.
You were done.
So I went to TU for to school, but I didn't play football there. I just remember those last few years, every August when I'd be out there doing 2-a-days, laying on my back, staring at the sun, doing leg lifts, thinking,
Uh-huh.
what am I doing here again? But then, we get to the first game Friday night under the lights, cool grass and everything. It was all worth it. But
So what's a guy from
mm,
Ohio? What draws them to come to the University of Tulsa?
no,
Oh, Toledo
university, yeah,
University. Okay.
the other TU.
The other TU. Well,
I think they call it UT now.
oh yeah, that was pretty. So then that was more convenient, I guess.
Oh yeah, it was just.
What'd you study there?
Remember I told you I did everything my brother did?
Right.
I studied engineering
Okay.
for a while.
Yeah.
He was fresh out of the Marine Corps, had a brand new set of motivational desires, and he said he picked chemical engineering because it was the hardest thing he could think of.
Wow.
And he said, you need to be an engineer too. And I said, okay. So I went into engineering for about a year and a half and decided, no, it's not me. And so I wandered off into construction at that time.
Yeah. It was those experiences though that make the actor you are today. What
Maybe.
what did you do? I mean, you didn't just start at acting then, right?
No. I never did anything in high school,
No theater.
no, those
Super 8 movies.
jocks never did. You never hung out with
No,
the
yeah.
thespians, right?
Right.
So
right.
we just never. I did, however, have a buddy that I sang duets with whenever we'd have a talent show or something like that.
Nice.
And our duets always had included a bit of banter back and forth, a little improv in between the songs and stuff. I truly enjoyed that. Just very much enjoyed that. But that's as close as I got until I got to Oklahoma, which was in 1980.
Yeah. What did you do as a career and throughout that time?
Construction. I was in construction.
Okay.
I worked for an apartment builder for a little bit, and then I worked. He actually had a division of his company that built new houses, so I was a superintendent for him for a few years, 2 or 3 years.
So you managed, you weren't like the drywall hanger or anything like that?
I couldn't do that. No. I mean, I have done that, but it's no. I was superintendent, and then I got a job with this remodeler it appealed more to me because he was in this small town adjacent to Toledo. It's kind of a suburb there called Perrysburg. And there was a big emphasis in that town, not to mention a lot of money. There was a big emphasis on restoring these century-old houses to their original condition. And they were so many beautiful houses. And he was really good at going into an old house that had been remodeled a few times, to get by, and looking it over and doing some investigating and seeing what it was originally and putting it back.
Wow.
And all of the woodwork and putting it back as close to original as we could do it. And that really appealed to me because it was there was some design element.
Right.
to
Or
that.
creative, yeah.
It was creative.
Do you do that now at your home? Do you?
Nope. I did do that
Yeah.
in Perrysburg. I bought a house and we did that. I moved. I mean, we bought the house and then went in and gutted it virtually. We moved the front door, we moved the stairway, we moved the kitchen. I mean, it was totally new, but original. Put it back the way it was.
Did you feel like you wish you didn't have those skills because your wife knew and could ask you to do those
can't-
things?
Well, I've done plenty of things for my wife over the years, for sure. Yeah, but when we came to Oklahoma, we had our criteria for the house was it had to be all done. Whatever else was going on, it had to be finished.
Yeah, my grandfather had a construction company, pretty big one in Houston when I was growing up, and virtually every member of the family worked there over, summer breaks and winter breaks, and that
Yeah.
definitely told me I needed to get an education. And
Yeah.
dragging seamen around in Houston wasn't a lot of fun,
Wow.
and it was tough work. But
Yeah.
I like doing a little construction stuff every now and then, just as a reminder, that I like this.
That you
So
made the right choice.
yeah, I made the right choice. What what do you what drew you to acting then
Oh,
after all that time?
yeah. Um, I was here in Oklahoma, so it was after 1980, and shortly after. In fact, soon after we got here, we went to my brother and
Oh, he went
uh,
into acting
no,
first.
no, no,
I'm joking.
the engineer, my brother, the engineer, um, wouldn't know an actor if it bit him, but we went to see a play in Broken Arrow, the
Uh-huh.
Broken Arrow Community Playhouse, and they were doing Fiddler on the Roof, and my now good friend um, was playing Tevye, and anyway, so I was riveted. I was really fascinated by that. Never did anything about it then the church we attended was started doing. They had a spring retreat they did every year, and Friday night of the retreat was skit night. So they said, "Hey, Shoop, come do a skit with us." So I tried that, and it was really fun. It was
Uh-huh.
silly,
Yeah.
just goofing around. And but then our church did something serious, a kind of a serious play drama thing, and I was involved in that, and noticed that it could really impact people with this drama stuff.
Yeah.
And shortly after that, I got this is the weirdest thing. I got a notice in my bank statement that they were having auditions at the Broken Arrow Community Playhouse for it was Plaza Suite,
Uh-huh.
and I
Which
thought,
is Neil Simon.
yeah, I thought, well, it'd be fun because it'd be a real audition. I could get that experience, having
Right.
that, see what it's like to be at a real audition.
Mm-hmm.
I booked it. I got
Which character did you play?
they well the
That's the one. Isn't that the one where there's like a
can't remember
famous
his name.
writer,
Yep.
and then he has these co-writers, and he falls in love with one of them, and
It wasn't Jack Klugman who was the guy who played that role,
um, yeah, I think it was it. Was it
it was the grumpy old man guy,
oh, yeah.
right?
Uh, one of the grumpy old men.
Yeah,
Not
not Jack
not
Lemmon.
Jack Lemmon,
No,
but
the other one,
yeah,
Walter Matthau.
Walter Matthau. Yeah.
I think he played it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that's the role. I don't remember the guy's name, but yeah, that was. I booked that role and had a blast doing that, and just thought, man, this is more than just fun. This is really kind of
This is
addictive.
going to sound a little crazy, but that was the first play that I got hired. Actually, signed
Really?
a contract and got paid for
Wow.
at the. It was at a theater in Galveston called
yeah.
the Strand Theater,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I went kind of the same thing. Well, I always wanted to be in performer, but I went and auditioned and got one of the side roles, and later.
Cool.
And so I was like an understudy too for one of the bigger roles. And one night I got to do it.
Nice.
And the director told me, you had like some comic thing about you. I should have put you in there to begin with.
Oh, nice.
And then, but I thought, oh, yeah, that's like, but it wasn't my big, but it was my big break, but it wasn't anything that led to
Yeah.
more. But it was like you said, a blast. And
Yeah.
and then I had never done a lot of theater. And one of the things that was kind of interesting to me was that all those actors who were in a lot of stuff, when we were backstage, like between scenes, they would do their changes, and they weren't afraid to just be there in their underwear, And that was like, oh, let me turn my head,
Yeah.
But yours, what was that like opening night? Had never done anything before.
Yeah. Oh, it was, petrifying and thrilling and all at the same time. But it was so, to have the audience respond like that, and it was just addicting. And shortly after that, I saw where they were offering classes, acting classes in town. I thought, well, maybe I could learn something about this. And anyway, I got noticed by an agent in that class, and I booked my first audition for the agent. And I had a lot of real early successes that kept the momentum going for me. And
So what was the fly on the wall moment like when you decided to tell your wife you were thinking about doing
she
some
was
acting?
always encouraging
Really?
to that.
Awesome.
Yeah, always. She's kind of artistic herself, and she was never crazy about the engineer stuff. She liked the building stuff, but she was always very encouraging.
It's awesome. How long you guys been married?
52 years, 2 months, and 13 days.
Wow, that's incredible. That's really great. That you found the person that you would be your best friend and have a relationship like that. Is your brother's marriage to the sister still?
Yeah.
They still together too?
Yeah.
Wow, that's even
In
more.
fact, we're going at the end of this month. We're going to Ohio to have a sibling reunion, taking my little sister along, and my oldest brother's coming from Carolina, and we're meeting in Ohio. And the 4 siblings will be together again for a
nice,
fun visit. And
what was the first role once you had an agent that you landed?
It was a commercial for a alcohol recovery facility. Yeah, I was a drunk at the bar, missing my son's baseball game. That's
shame on you.
Yeah, my mom was so proud.
Well, you do those things. Like I remember one of my first. I don't think I got paid for it, but it's sometimes you just do stuff just to, just to get some experience and say you did. But it was for a Crime Stoppers thing. You remember when they used to do those?
Yeah, sure.
And they would make like a little video to reenact to hopefully lead to something that could help solve the crime. And when we went to watch it, I had to explain to the kids that I didn't really get shot, and I'm not really dead, because you hear a gunshot, and you're. And they were the most horrible.
Feeling much better now.
Yeah. But what was like one of those that you did that was like that I guess the drunk was at the where you felt like that was kind of like one of those goofier, weird moments to see yourself as?
Oh, yeah. There's been a few of those. There's a few movies and things that people say, what have you been in? So, nothing. Never mind.
You don't want to tell them.
You don't want to see that.
At least that's not our movie, so right. Not our movie.
Yeah, and so that's.
I met a woman not too long ago. She was a friend of a friend that was in the Real Housewives of Dallas or something.
Yeah, oh, great.
And I said, "Oh, I've never seen it. I'll look." And she goes, "No, don't watch. Please don't watch." It's like, okay.
That's okay. Well, I don't think I ever had to do anything personally offensive, but some of the other content in that production was offensive. So I just and there are probably some things not on that IMDb page that are like that fall into that category.
Well, there are a lot of things that don't fall into that category.
No, that's
that you've been a
thankfully
part
that's
of.
true.
That's true. I think one of the first that I noticed was The Rookie, one of my all-time favorite movies, and that had Dennis Quaid and John Lee Hancock. Actually, is a guy I grew up with him, and his family,
Remember you telling me
John
that?
Lee, grew up
Yeah,
in
that's
Texas
so
City,
cool.
and his little brother was a good buddy of mine. And
Neat.
what was that like when you get the call for a
Really
movie
cool.
like that?
Yeah, that was the first major picture. And it was, over the moon. And that was early too. It's been a lot of years.
It was like 96, I think.
Oh, really?
Maybe
Yeah.
no. Let me look at my notes. It was 2002.
It was?
Yeah,
Wow. So that was right before I went to California. Okay. Wow. Okay.
that's
Well,
when it came out, but you probably shot it in 2000
yeah.
or something.
Yeah. Okay. So I'd been at it a bit by then. So anyway, it was the first really big picture. And
Where'd you have to go for the audition?
I had to go to Austin.
And was there like a room full of guys that looked just like you?
Yes, there was. And I went, that was back in the day where all the auditions were in person,
Right.
So it was whatever that is, drive to Austin. It's a novel and a half. That's how long
It's like 8.5 hours.
Mhm.
I do it often, but
so you go in, do the 5-minute audition, and then drive home, and then you get a call back. Yay! You get to go do it again.
you get to drive back.
Yeah. So
So
but
who was in the audition? Was John Lee there, and
yes.
producers and the casting director maybe?
The casting director was the first time. I remember the callback. It was John Lee and somebody else. There were two or three people in there, and I actually auditioned for another role, bigger role.
Because you ended up being the
not
general
too bitter.
manager of the team or something.
No,
right?
I was the PR manager for the Durham Bulls.
Oh yeah, okay.
When he played for the Durham Bulls, and so but really thrilled to get that, and I remember the taxi ride or the shuttle ride out to the set. I was just jabbering away to the gal who picked me up. This is my first big movie, and kind of stuff. And and she was excited with me. So that anyway, and and I would emphasize the irony of me being that old. This is my first major production. And it's a rookie who was the oldest rookie in baseball. So
Yeah.
I'm a pretty old rookie myself. So that was, anyway, she was real nice. And then, but I remember I had a trailer,
Wow.
first time I had a trailer. Of course, they put your name on with masking tape, so you don't really feel too settled
Too at
in.
home, yeah.
Yeah. But you got in there and noticed that there's nobody else in there. You're just in this closet until they come get you. So that wasn't cool. But then they came and got me and took me out to the set, and the set was a stadium, right? So it's full of people.
Yeah.
Lots of extras and lots of crew, semis all over. And and I remember thinking when the director said, "Stand by," and this was my scene, I thought, "Ooh, this, I better not mess up."
Pressure's on.
This could be serious.
Yeah,
right?
have your lines all set. You just keep going over and over and over and over.
Yeah, true.
How many times did you guys shoot that part?
Not many, just 2 or 3, because Dennis had to run in from the outfield every time.
Yeah.
So they only did that part 2 or 3 times, and then the part up close they did several times because he kept changing. John Lee kept changing the network that I was with.
Oh, okay.
Just in case.
Just in
he
case
needed
somebody,
another network. So
Makes sense.
So I realize I'm testing your metal here, but so
That's what he told you.
yeah, this time do it with 60 minutes. I don't know what you're from 2020 or something. Just he would give me another another program that I was with that, anyway. But so that part we shot several times, and I had a jersey ready for him. He was out in his practice stuff, and I wanted to put a jersey on him, so I put the jersey on him, and he said, "You going to button it for me?" I said, "Nah, I'll let you do it."
So he was in town recently,
Yeah,
for another baseball movie, I think, or
yeah, that's right.
something
Yeah.
else, and
The
well,
fall? No,
I can't remember. It's like the king
hill.
the
No,
hill. Yeah, that's it.
the
The hill. Were you? What was he like to work with? Was he pretty friendly? And
Yeah.
you're just gonna say that anyway, right?
I have to because it's part of the deal. No, he absolutely. I mean, we don't hang out, but
Yeah. You didn't have a beer after.
No, but
You didn't say, "Hey, I'm a rookie too.
Yeah,
Let's go have a beer."
No, I didn't. But he was, total professional. That's one thing I noticed about all these kind of folks is they're really good at what they do and they're really focused, but they're nice folks.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard a horror story about a couple of guys who are famous. I don't even remember their names, to be honest with you, but one of them kept messing up his lines, and the other guy just like really ripped him a new one because he couldn't remember his lines and get through the whole thing. And the guy I knew who was on the set said it was really like intimidating for the whole rest of the shoot.
Yeah, right.
It didn't make it a comfortable situation for the rest of the movie, and that was kind of
Well, I heard that Sean Connery did that on Hunt for Red October, but he did it on purpose. It was his first day on the set, and he didn't pick another actor. He picked one of the crew and just let him have it. Just unleashed on this guy, and so everybody treated him that way. Everybody kind of tensed up when he walked. Well, that made him the captain.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Right. Yeah, I can see that now. Yeah, that can make. So after The Rookie, then you were in Infamous.
Oh, with Sandra Bullock.
Oh yeah.
And Toby Jones.
See, I don't know if I could have handled working around Sandra Bullock.
Oh, she was fantastic.
Were you on the set with her?
Yeah.
Not because it's like one of my biggest crushes I ever had was on Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, well, yeah, everybody. But yeah, she was fantastic. I mean, talk about a focused. This scene, this one scene, the camera was a long ways away and shooting towards me. Sandra Bullock was standing here, Toby Jones was standing here, and I'm recounting my story mostly to Toby Jones because he's Truman Capote.
Right.
So I'm telling him what I saw, but occasionally I'll look at Sandra, who was that other author. Anyway, but both of them are looking at me away from the camera, right? Well, it's a very emotional thing that I'm doing here, and at one point I look at her, and every time I looked at her, every take, she had tears in her eyes. Nobody's going to see that but me, right?
Right.
And I was really blown away by that.
And that helped you probably.
Oh yeah,
the way you made your delivery.
It so much more real.
And then that was her like just drawing those because out of herself, because I know they use like some kind of little crystal that they can put in your little drops.
It was real.
Yeah.
It was for real. No, it was really and it was, in between takes she'd rub my arm, make sure I was okay, I about knocked her down. Oh, did I tell you that?
No. How did you do that?
Well, they, they put me in this cowboy outfit. And so I don't remember who I was, some kind of rancher or something, but we were walking across this parking lot and we had to cross some railroad tracks to get into where we had the scene. And they wanted us to work a little more closely and walk more closely together. And so she was holding my arm, and stepped on the railroad track with my leather boots that I've never had on before, and my foot went, and I fell into her, and she held me up, So we had to retake that. But
Are you sure that wasn't on purpose? To get her to hold you for just a second, tell that story.
Maybe. No, it was totally. It was total buffoonery.
Yeah, everything you read, about her has always been fabulous from everyone that ever has any kind of contact with her. And
it's true.
Yeah.
And Toby Jones too. That guy has been in everything and still is in everything. And
the way he did,
nice guy.
Way he did Truman Capote was like,
nailed it.
Yeah, dead on. And and it was really great. So that was a pretty cool. I can't remember. Did that one like get nominated for an Oscar or anything? I can't remember. No,
that was the other Truman Capote movie.
Oh, okay. But I thought maybe
Philip Seymour Hoffman kind of.
I thought maybe your part might have gotten.
Well. Yeah, no.
But how many days were you on that set?
Just a couple. Just one.
Just one.
They had the fitting, but it was just that.
Did you have a trailer? Did you share one with Sandra?
Had my own trailer, and again with the masking tape.
That's still at. Where did that shoot at? Is that here?
No, it was also in Texas somewhere. I don't know. You go south of Dallas and turn right. That's all I remember.
Las Colinas.
No. Farther.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember the name of the town. It's this little town.
Yeah. And then when you look a little further down that list, the Home Run, which that's kind of a locally based.
Another baseball movie.
Another baseball movie. Yeah, it was shot here too, I think, or parts of it were anyway, right? The old Driller Stadium.
Yeah. My scene was in a church.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see there, I was. That's another role I can be really proud of because I was a recovering porn addict.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, at least you've gone through a lot of recovery.
I have. I'm a champ at recovery. So
that was a great faith-based type movie.
It was a really good movie.
Yeah. And enjoyed that one. Then of course, then you got into a run of. You did a couple of our movies. You were in the Prayer List with us. And another where you played a pastor, and then and then you were in W.W.J.R. How did you feel about that one and getting to sing? Was that your first on-screen singing role?
I don't remember, but it was. Yeah, it was certainly the highlight of my singing career on camera.
Yeah, I think your line was like a Mountie. He always gets his man, I think.
Oh, really?
I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Which was pretty fun and funny.
Yeah.
And then some of these other projects that have been in town that are in the news too, like Reservation Dogs, Tulsa King. What were those like?
Oh, fun. I mean, those are just. I mean, the people involved. Well, I've known Sterling Harjo for a while because he met my son when my son was attending OU, and they didn't get to be buddies per se, but they kind of ran in the same circle, so they knew each other. So I met him years ago, and he hired me once. He was doing a kind of a class on filmmaking at down in the Ouachita Mountains, art like retreat or weekend or week maybe for students. Anyway, but they hired some actors to actually be in the movies that these kids would produce and shoot and all that. And he hired me for that, so I got to know him there. And
what's your role in his project?
I was a Texas rancher.
Oh, okay.
Hunting in the forest, messing up the hunting for the Native Americans who were there really hunting.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Daryl Cox were walking through the woods, griping about big government and stuff, and just messing up hunting for everybody. But but that's really those kinds of projects, and of course Tulsa King. That's even bigger money wise, so they have more going on. But and that was recurring, so that was actually, I don't know, 4 days or 4 or 5 days, something like that.
So it's recurring, like in your situation, they shoot all of your parts in the different series, like in a couple of few days or 4 days, and then insert it into the movie or the show. When
Yeah, it was only a couple, but they did.
Because I know you were like in a drive-by in a car, in that.
Yeah.
And you,
So that was the day I got beat up. The same day.
Okay.
They shot both of those.
And there's another one when he yells at you from across the street
with
and you're
the
like,
dog. Yeah.
I don't care.
The day with the dog was.
You weren't a very good neighbor.
But I had recovered from
my
addictions.
You had the alcohol problem and the porn thing.
Yeah, I was better.
That's why you were out there in your robe.
That's true. Yeah.
Those were fun scenes. I remember because you told me when you got beat up, not to we won't tell them why you got beat up if they haven't seen it yet. But you got beat up and you had a stunt person and rubber shoes and what was that scene
that
like?
was amazing. Yeah, it was
because first of all, you get beat up by Doogie Howser's best friend. That's how I always remember him.
Is that him? Armand.
It's
what was his name?
Max Casella.
Yeah, Max Casella. He super nice guy as well.
Yeah, he's been in a ton of Sopranos and stuff. But I always remember him when he was a kid and he was in that Doogie Howser MD show. And
well, I missed those, but yeah, he was really good, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But he and I both had a stunt double. That's the first time I've ever had a stunt double. He said he's had some before, probably Sopranos,
right? Yeah,
time. But yeah, it was ironic. First of all, because I met my stunt double, and it's this bald guy in a robe. That's weird. But what was even weirder was that the hair and makeup showed me a picture of him that morning when he arrived for work. He had a full head of shoulder length hair and a full beard.
Oh, wow.
And they shaved his beard off and they gave him a haircut and they shaved the top of his head.
Wow.
So we matched.
That's commitment.
I guess. I apologized to him all day, but no, that's what we do. Anyway, he and of course Max had his guy looked just like him. It was quite something. And at one point, he and I were sitting across the street sipping water when we were beating ourselves up over there.
Yeah, I was going to ask
the fight was going on over there. We were just watching.
I was going to ask you, do you root for yourself when you're watching yourself get beat up? What's it
Come
like?
on, get up.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So yeah,
and we shot almost 5 hours for those 10 seconds.
Wow.
By the way.
and that's not even the setup time. They were probably there 3 or 4 hours setting up and planning and
right. And the stunt people went at it for a while, and then they called us the reelies. The reelies came over and then we, he had one where he pushed me down on a mat, but he pushed me down, and then he had another where I was on the ground, and then he would stand over me with that foam boot I was telling you about.
Right,
it was that cowboy boot made out of foam rubber. Looked just like his actual boots, but he and he never hit me with it. But he was swinging pretty hard, back and forth. And they had camera everywhere, all around that. So many takes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like 10 seconds.
Yeah. Fight scenes are tough.
Yeah.
What about and then one that was probably a bigger hit than anybody thought ever would be, maybe. And
You talk about Jesus Revolution.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
And you had a
That's
pretty
amazing.
significant role in it too.
Yeah, that was so nice to be a part of that. Yep.
So were you a Methodist preacher or
Episcopalian.
Episcopalian?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Episcopalian priest. So I had a white collar and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And that was so fun. No fight scenes.
Is Kelsey Grammer, is he a funny person or a serious actor? Because
Yes.
I think him too, as I love him from Kramer.
Yeah.
Not Kramer, but when he was the psychologist.
Psychologist. Yeah. That
Yeah.
one. But
Fraser,
you're right.
Fraser Crane.
He well, when I got out of, I had a bigger trailer for that.
Yeah.
But I still by myself. But they called me to the van to go over to the set, and I got in the van and I'm looking over my pages. As I had several lines in this scene and that we were going to shoot, and heard this voice from behind me saying, "What role are you playing?" I said, "I'm Father Malone." "Ah, Father Malone." Oh, I recognize that voice. And he was sitting in the seat behind me. So,
Yeah.
And I was telling him how much of a bucket list moment that was for me.
Right.
And we got to the set and went out and just sat around for quite a while.
Nice.
The scene that they used to audition for that was a real simple little scene. It was in the foyer of the church or something. Me and Joel and Anna Grace, also super great folks.
Uh-huh.
That was the scene for the audition. And when I arrived on the set for that scene, the director said, "Okay, we're not going to use the script for this." All right. So we're gonna. This was real close, and we're gonna put you guys a long ways away, apart from each other. You're gonna be over just like unlocking the church. He's gonna be way out in the parking lot, and you're yelling at each other, and you're not really hearing the other one, so you're kind of talking past each other, kind of a who's on first thing, you know?
Right.
So have fun. So we totally improv that whole scene, which got cut, by the way. They didn't use it, but it was because of that scene, they were just all falling down laughing. It was a real funny scene. Even Joel couldn't keep a straight face. But because of that scene, they added the scene where I'm introducing him in the church, which was also improv. But they added that scene. That did make the movie.
So as an actor, does it bother you at all when you anticipate and hope that something's going to make it and then it doesn't?
Oh, yeah. Well, sure. I mean, I'm also have, I've done a little bit of editing myself.
Right.
I made one movie all by myself.
Yeah.
And
I
I
was
know
going to ask you about that.
There's just an awful lot you cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It's like, can I have it? You know?
Yeah, I know. It's like our first movie, the Prayer List, the first feature. Well, the first one we did was a documentary, and of course, a lot of stuff didn't make it. You do 20-minute interviews and
sure.
you 30-minute interviews, and then a lot of that doesn't even come close to getting in. And then And then when you start to cut it all together, just the features, uh, then which a documentary is a feature, I know, but the other films, they you see that it's like 2 hours long, and you think, I don't know, maybe we need to cut about 10 or 15 minutes, which is really, really, really,
Yeah,
really
it's like,
uncomfortably hard because
yeah.
there was one movie where I had to cut out a character altogether, and I
Oh,
felt bad for him, so I put him in one of our other movies and made sure that scene stayed. And
well, that's
uh,
nice of you.
yeah,
Not everybody's that nice.
and then and sometimes when you write them, uh, and then you see it all together, you could see that, well, that scene probably doesn't need to be there.
Right.
We don't need to
You
explain
can
that.
still tell the story
That
without
3 minutes out, and
Yep.
this one here and that one there, and then when you show it to a room, you get the reaction to know
Yeah.
whether or not uh, that should be in or not, and how much of it should stay or go, and
Yeah.
and-
Yeah. It's an amazing process, but I understand it.
so what drove you to make your movie, and what was it? I know you've told me before. What was it called? And
Treasure Blind. I made Treasure Blind long ago. I guess it was after The Rookie, so it must have been the early 2000s. It was 2005 when we started shooting. But anyway, it was. Um, mm, what's that church in Georgia that's making movies?
yeah, I
The
can't
Kendrick
remember.
brothers.
Right, I think that's
They
it.
made their first movie, which was Flywheel. Remember
Uh-huh,
that?
uh-huh.
And I was working at the time. I was working on a play for church that was our church was having its 50th anniversary, and it was a play about the church. And so I was working on that, and the associate pastor stuck his head in the door and said, I just watched this movie the other night called Flywheel, and it's not awful. You should maybe when you get that done, you could write a movie."
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, maybe I could. And so I did.
Yeah.
And I, just got through the script, and talk about ignorant, not knowing what I was doing. I was just, I was in uncharted territory all over the place. I got through the script and did some editing, not nearly enough on it. And I was able to raise money from just a couple of guys,
Wow.
which was nice. So we didn't have a lot of
Yeah.
input. And a friend of mine knew a lot about editing and camera stuff, real tech guy. So I let him be the DP, and we bought a camera, and we bought a Panasonic. I don't remember. It was all that when we bought it,
Right.
but anyway, we so it was video, but it had an adapter of some kind on the front where you could actually put lenses on it.
Mm-hmm.
Not really great setup, but it worked enough that we were able to get it shot, and then we edited for about a year, and then we promoted it for about a year, and it finally got picked up by
Nice.
by Cloud 10 up in Toronto, and I think they still have it on their roster. I never saw any money from it, but that was rewarding to get it done and get it out
Yeah,
there.
definitely. Think it helped you as an actor.
Yeah, very much helped me in knowing what goes into making a movie, what goes into the editing, what goes into all the other collaborative parts that make a movie work, and what is needed and what is not needed. And so it helped that way a great deal. Um,
Well, I know when we work with you, I love the fact, like, just as a little example in Holy Flicks, the thing we are in post production now, um, you you had a line, and after you delivered it a couple of times, I asked you to. It was basically you had to shift gears through each little part of the line to go from being confused to realizing what you had said to trying to be happy, in just this little span of time, and you were able to do it like on the first take, and
oh, good.
and it was just really, that's one of the most rewarding things for us is that when we see this on paper and we've worked it, and then
Mhm.
you guys come out and
Yeah.
knock it out, and oftentimes the guys running the cameras, Nick and Libby mostly, they'll and then we have other crew members that we feel like we're interfering on your life, and I can hear everybody like be really quiet, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, I feel like I was intruding on, because of the way you portray it. You do such wonderful portrayal that it ends up being real, to us in that instant, and it's just
Wonderful. Good. Glad to hear that.
the way you're able to make that shift in that line that really it really drew a lot of emotion, and
Mm.
we were editing that a couple of weeks ago,
Oh, wow, good.
and it turned out great. And
Glad to hear that. Good.
yeah, and then you've got Killers of the Flower Moon. What were you in there? And that was like they basically took part of a whole city and turned it into a whole nother city, right? That had to be crazy.
Yeah. And talk about editing, that's 3 hours and something.
Yeah.
And woof. But anyway, yeah, that and the scene I was in was shot out in the middle of the prairie in a house they built just for the movie.
Uh-huh.
2-story big hip roof house. Beautiful. Out in the middle of the field and nothing around far as you could see and in any direction. And it was just for the movie. And inside, the bottom floor was all finished and in period
Yeah.
stuff and furnished, of course. The upstairs was nothing, no walls or anything. In fact, they had just poles holding up the roof. But that's where we would go between takes, up in there between setups rather.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was.
So was Scorsese or DiCaprio on any, or De Niro on any of your
Yeah,
scenes?
well, Scorsese, of course, was there, and DiCaprio was being schooled by Brendan Fraser in this particular scene, and yeah, that was another example of some really dedicated guys working, because that was a page and a half. That scene,
Yeah.
we shot 12 and a half hours,
Wow.
and that's on film. 2 film cameras, excuse me, running all day long and then some. And they had we shot the wide shot, the master, room full of people. There's people everywhere. I'm Mr. Cracion Oil,
Uh-huh.
and there's another oil man next to me, and then Barry Corbin. You know him?
Yeah.
He was sitting behind me. That was fun too. That was another bucket list thing. We got to work with Barry Corbin. But anyway, and the sheriff, and then these lawyers, and of course, most of the Native American cast, or the women of that cast, and then behind them there was an adjoining room, and that was full of extras, background in there. and so it looked like a really packed house because it was. And forgot what I was going to. Oh, they shot this wide shot, and then maybe 6-7 times we went over that. And Scorsese's got such an amazing way about him. He comes in, and we shot the first take, by the way. We shot the first take, and I thought, man, that's why you hire these really good actors, because that was awesome. That was the first take, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And he came in and said, "Okay, that was pretty good." And then he would go talk to one guy, kind of just quietly, and then he said, "Okay, let's try it again." And we do it again, and we did 5 or 6 of those. I said, "Okay, we're going to reset," and then so we all went upstairs, and they worked on that scene between Brendan Fraser and Leonardo, and just that back and forth, and we're just responding kind of across the room the whole rest of the day, so much so that we had to go back and reshoot the master because it wouldn't match.
Oh, wow.
Same dialogue and everything, but it was just such a different energy level that they had to reshoot the master. So I mean, that's one of the reasons it's $200 million, but
Right.
but
Yeah, because they had to have like editors there going through the footage and kind of putting it together to see what it would look like to determine that,
right.
If we miss something, then we just have to change the scene a little bit. It's like, okay, well,
much simpler solution.
Yeah, it's
But man, that's yeah, and Scorsese was in a different room with his he was in a different room with his Video Village, and watching on video screen. But anyway, oh, I was going to tell you about the character of those actors. When they turn excuse me.
Yeah, you're fine.
Sorry. When they turned the camera around to just the oil man here, the camera's huge, and it's on a dolly, and it's the operators there, so I can't see Brendan and Leonardo anymore. They're behind that thing, and so they put a mark on the camera where the eye line was for each of the guys. And then they were going to run through the scene, and I figured, okay, I'm just going to have to kind of remember what happens. No, they went through the scene behind the camera. Nobody's seeing them except us, or hearing them. We're just hearing them, so that we could, give a accurate response to that all the way through. And it was every bit as the same emotion and everything. And and they went through it, so that was impressive.
Yeah. What do you find the difference? The things that you like between each one when you're working on a film like that, and you said it's kind of like the professionalism. Then you come and work on one of ours. It's kind of a micro budget, and what do you like about each one and the differences of them?
Well, I do like them both, and all of it. And there are, you guys get good actors too, and that they might be less well known,
Yeah.
but they're still skilled in what they do, and that's, anytime you're working with a good actor in a good scene, it's just it's my high that I keep trying, pushing
Right.
for every time I do get to do this, and it's just so fulfilling. It's like that moment right there is what I am built for. It's what I'm made for. And it's where I feel most fulfilled and alive and everything. That was awesome. And that happens in any project. Not every project, but
Right.
it's potentially always there.
Yeah, and I think like in the bigger projects with the huge budgets, like you said, that um, there are things that could, like for example, in ours, I know when I've been on bigger sets, that there's somebody that's assigned just to me to see where my arm is, or if my drink is full enough, or and those things that we might miss because there's not
Right.
all of us.
Got other things you're thinking
Yeah,
about.
and
Sure.
so it's and it does happen, and it's hard. I think like doing a scene where people are eating or drinking is almost as tough as doing a scene where people are fighting, because you got to know where the bowl was passed and what fork was being,
Well, no, yeah. And this killer scene, one guy lights a cigarette in the scene every take. So they have to come get that cigarette, give him another one, and he's dropping it in a little coffee cup or something there. But yeah, so he had a cigarette gopher.
I was in a movie where I was playing poker, and it was a Treat Williams
man.
movie, and they were introducing each one of us, and it was like a period piece. So it was like early 1900s, and my job was to hold my cards, take a shot of whiskey, and then smoke my cigarette. Well, like 4 or 5 takes in, I'm allergic to smoke. So every time I'd start, tearing up a little bit. You're supposed to be this bandito character. You're tearing up. So they said, just put the cigarette in the thing, but they did have somebody that would bring a cigarette, and they would be the wound up kind that they would
Right.
stick in my little tray, that whatever it was that was in front of me,
Yeah.
and I took a shot of whiskey. We shot that like, I don't know, at least a dozen times. It was tea, but I had to pee really bad when we
Yeah,
were done.
right.
Yeah. And you went through a transformation yourself, kind of a health transformation.
Yeah.
You want to tell us about that? It would make sure that you could continue to do this acting thing for years to come.
That's true, because I was actually on a set in Norman for a Lifetime movie, and the scene, the wardrobe was on like the first or second floor, but I had to climb 3 floors to where the scene was being shot in this old school building, and I got up to that 3rd floor. I had to stop and take a break on the way. I was just puffing and puffing so much. Got to the 3rd floor and could not catch my breath. And I was thinking, this is weird. This is not normal. I mean, I was way out of shape. I knew that. But it just was, I think this was shortly before your movie.
It was sometime around in there, because I know you had you were having some kind of coughing thing going on during one of the scenes we were shooting.
Yep. And that was because, so it was just before your movie was just before that one, because anyway, long story short, I had trouble even remembering my lines in that scene. That never happens to me.
Right.
Never. And I was just working so hard on it. It was terrifying to me. I was standing there in this hallway. This little girl's walking toward me, and I know when she arrives, I've got a line. I can't remember.
That's the nightmare.
What the heck am I supposed to say? We got that scene shot. In fact, it's in my demo reel, so it came out okay. But anyway, I went to get checked out, and I actually went to. They were looking at my heart and my aorta. I've got a aortic aneurysm that they sort of monitor every year. So I was going for my yearly checkup for that. Got a CT scan, and the guy, I just got all situated. The guy went into this little booth and ran one shot, came out, left the room and came back with a wheelchair. Said, "We're going to the ER
Oh, wow.
because you have pulmonary emboli and blood clots in my lungs." And that's, I don't know how long that had been there. The amazing thing is that I wasn't dead.
Yeah.
It had made it past my heart and got into my lungs. But that, was a pretty strong wake-up call. And so I'm on blood thinners now for the rest of my life, so I don't
Yeah.
make any more clots.
Right.
But I also got with a diet trainer and a physical trainer and started going to the gym and being careful what I eat. And so that was 85 pounds ago.
Wow.
And,
That's awesome.
And feeling ever so much better and more clear-headed. And so, yeah, that was, yeah, that I'm grateful for that, but it was a scary moment. But you're right. It's more roles have opened up as a result.
That's awesome. And we look forward to seeing you in more roles to come. Thanks so much for spending time with us here on our
My
little,
pleasure.
OK Movie Stream site. And
This
as
is so great.
every guest gets
Oh man,
a T-shirt for
thank you.
coming out and being a
Very
part of it.
nice.
And and I'm sure we'll see you
Very cool.
even more often. And you guys, thanks for just visiting.